Oh my god, I don't even have my knee pads on. What am I doing? Oh god, dude. Gotta work on my braking. Alright, well, that might be the end of that. I really stubbed my wheel there. So we're back following up to my first big crash on the V14. I damaged or scratched up quite a bit the rear grab handle and the front grab handle, as well as some of the side panels. And so I ended up reaching out to eWheels, and they were kind enough to actually send me some replacement parts for free. So again, great service from eWheels. Thank you so much. And I figured while I'm replacing the side panels and the handles, I will also replace the tire, which is currently their street tire, and I'm going to replace that with the knobby tire. So here we go. So we got the new rear handle, new rear light, got the new front handle, new trolley handle, and then we got our 2 new side plates. Okay, we will start by removing the side panel. Oh, and by the way, I'm basing a lot of this repair video on the video from 2 Cells 1 Pack, which is great. They did a recent video on a V14 tire change. Definitely give them a watch. They're a great channel for all your EUC maintenance and repair needs. All right, so there should be a 4mm. I got a tub for the screws. And I believe these just have some clips on the side that you have to undo, and then also from the top. So we'll try to do that without breaking anything. So there you go. So yeah, it has these clips on the top and the sides. You just gotta be careful as you're taking that off. This padded part is just, I guess we might as well replace the rear handle while we're at it here, since that looks easy enough. I think also 4mm. Yeah. The handles are what took the majority of the damage during the crash. And those are different lengths. These bolts are different lengths for the side panels versus the grab handles here. So the grab handles have longer, slightly longer bolts, but they're both 4mm, so just be aware of that. The screw is pretty deep in there, so I think it helps if you have a magnetic bit. So that just comes right off. All right, well, let's maybe see if we can replace this trolley handle top, because there's just 4 Phillips head screws. Okay, looks like that will just pop right off. In theory. There we go. So now I think I just have to line the white rods here. Yeah, I think the trolley, one of the stanchions or whatever of the trolley handle got bent probably, which is why this side is a little more stiff, but it did go on there, so cool. I'm just gonna put the smaller screws back in. Guess we'll gotta take off this side plate. I actually had Loctite in it, surprisingly. All right, we'll take off the remaining 2 screws. I guess while I have this here, I'm gonna take off the top plate and see if I can get access to the rear light. Yeah, so these are 3mm. Definitely need a magnetic bit on this one. Yeah, you just need a really long bit in order to reach these deeper recessed bolts. I guess I should have, the order of operations matters. So it's like, take this off and then that allows you to take this whole piece off. There we go. All right, we're gonna take the top handle off again. Okay, now we can take the entire top plate off. By the way, the gasket looks good around the motherboard here. I assume, yeah, okay, it's this. Oof, wow, so yeah, that is actually gonna be a huge pain to change because it's got silicone, rightfully so, for waterproofing. It'd be cool if I could just replace the plastic piece itself because that's the only thing that cracked. Yeah, it's all one piece. Dang, yeah, I don't know if I can actually do this right now because I don't have silicone to re-silicone that spot. So that is probably not gonna work. So this cable goes in here and it comes out through the bottom of this, way in here. There's silicone. And then the cable comes out and plugs into here. I guess I mean, it's okay. The plastic's still on there. So I'll just ride with it like that until it totally breaks, I guess. At least I got to see kind of the inside of the board. So we'll line that back up. Solid. Let's put the rear handle on. Okay. Let's get the trolley handle back on. Okay, so we got our new front and rear grab handles. Now, time for the tire change. So we'll start by snipping this zip tie up here. And then we need to remove this battery box right here. So there's 2 screws at the top and then 2 at the bottom, but this rubber bumper has to be removed first. Can start it with this guy. Okay, so we're gonna unscrew the cable here. Oh man, that is on there. There we go. Jeez. All right, so then we detach. And the battery box comes out. Okay, so next step, we have to release the main power cable here. This is our 2.5mm hex screws. And then we also have to snip the zip tie. And we'll snip this zip tie here. Another 2.5mm bolt here. I wonder with these new pedal hangers if I actually have to completely remove those too. That's a pain. Okay, remove motor bolts from both sides. Remove the Velcro. I gotta remove these pedal hangers. There we go. So yeah, you don't need to remove this battery box on this side. You just need to be able to remove the pedal hanger so you can get to the motor bolts on this side. So again, we'll start with the Allen key. Okay. Now we should be able to slide the top casing away from the wheel. Okay, I need to flip this over. Okay, so yeah, this will separate. See if I can use my legs to secure the motor. There we go. So that's gonna separate. There we go. Something like that. Alright, so now we can actually get to the tire change. So I gotta let all the air out of this tire. Let me watch what Albert did real quick.
Remove the pressure from the tube.
Okay. I might have to tilt this on its side just to give myself a little more slack. I might even be able to just use one, yeah, something like that, just to make sure that there's a space underneath and you're not crushing the wire. So that's my little hack for making sure that can work. Okay, so I got my tire spoons, got on Amazon, nothing too crazy. Okay, so Albert got the spoons in this way. You just gotta break that seal, I think. There we go, okay. Yeah, so basically there's like a divot in the middle of the rim that's pretty wide that you can try to force the tire bead, one side of the tire bead to. And then I think that can help loosen the rest of this thing up. Well, Albert made it look very easy, but it's so much easier on a bike. Changing a bike tire. This is something else completely here. Well, we've made some progress. There we go. Okay. I should just get that with our hands. There we go. Okay. That's one side. So now I think I need to get the tube out.
There you go. Valve released.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta get the valve released. So we'll flip this back over. Gotta see if we can. Oh man, that is tough. Their valve just was able to push through so much easier than this thing. Maybe I'm pulling from the wrong side. You gotta pull from this side. There we go. Okay. Oh, this whole thing's about to come off. There we go. Alright, that works. Set that aside. Okay. So that's the old tire. And here's the new tire. And this came with its own separate tube. Oh, slightly different inner tube valve. Let me get my pump. Sweating over here. I need to remember direction. Okay, so this is actually this direction, which means the wheel is spinning like this. Because this one has an arrow indicating the rotation right there. I don't know if you can see that. But this is pretty symmetrical tire, so I don't think it matters which way, if it's going this way or if it's going this way. Either way, we need to make sure this is on the bottom. Alright, so we're gonna... I feel like you gotta do this first part by hand for some reason. Okay, yeah, there we go. I can feel it. And then I think once we get it far enough, like maybe halfway, you can kind of put it in that, yeah, put it in the deep middle part. There we go. Okay. I think we need to put this side in there too. There we go. Oh my God, finally. Okay, so I got it on that side, so that's great. So now we gotta flip it over and I gotta fit the tube in there. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Yeah, here we go. So we just gotta stretch it around like that. There we go. Now we can potentially get it through. We gotta be able to get this side of the thing off. And again, try to give yourself some slack. There we go. Let's see if I can just, there we go. Okay. Alright. So now, we can get this too. Where's the, alright, so we gotta shove this in here. We gotta take out a little bit of air. Don't want to pinch the tube, obviously, but so I think at this point is when we can lift it up like this, and then you need to do the finger jujitsu, as Albert calls it. Make sure the tube is actually seated. Okay, there we go. All right, the tube is now through. Now we got to make sure everything gets seated again. So, okay. Just want to make sure that valve stem doesn't come back out. I think you gotta like squeeze the two sides together and then push down. Okay, so we'll try to hold one side and then just But yeah, again, careful not to pinch that tube. I'm sure there's just like some technique that I'm missing. I'm trying to do what Albert said and like push that tire towards this deep center part so you have more slack to work with, but oh, actually this should be the last part of the tire that goes in, so really I need to start, I think, on this side. Otherwise I'm going to pull the valve stem out of the tube. Can you imagine you change this whole tire and then you find out that you have a hole in your tube? That would be terrible. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna hope that I don't have a pinch flat. I guess this is when having a automatic pump is probably good. Okay. Let's hope we have a good connection. I felt like I was pumping it up forever and it's still just not. It's like the tire bead just isn't expanding outwards. But it's just not going. Okay, so we are back, day 2 here. I had to stop last night because it was just getting too late and I didn't want to be noisy for my neighbors. But what I did is I ended up getting a electric pump off of Amazon, overnighted. This one's by Fanatic, so we'll see if this works. But I think that was the problem, is just one thing I missed in the 2 cells 1 pack video on this is that Albert uses an extension tube, which I didn't see before, which makes it easier for you to access the valve. So I guess that's another thing that you could potentially order to make it easier. But still, I think the hand pump's just not really doing it. So we're gonna see if this is gonna work here with this electric pump. So basically it looks like you can just set the PSI that you want. I'll just set it to like 24 PSI right now. And we'll see if we can get this to have a good connection here. You know, seems like a good tool to have for the EUC. Okay, so let's see if we can get it to work here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's pumping up at all or if it has. Oh yeah, I can hear air leaking. So I'm pretty sure that I must have just ripped the tube, is what I'm thinking. So I will probably have to take this tube out, which is quite annoying considering how long it took to get it in there and the tire on place, but I just don't think it's holding air at this point. So what we will do is start getting the tube out of there again. Yep, there's the hole right there. So that might actually be a hole I could repair, because it's not that big. This is why it would be nice if the valve stem hole was on the other side of the rim, the non-cable side of the rim, so you didn't have to do this weird thing with the tube just to get it out of here. Okay, there's just the smallest of holes right where my thumb is. Probably hard to see in there, but there's like a little tear. But in the meantime, I'll grab the other tube. So here's the other tube. This one feels like it has a longer stem. But yeah, I mean, obviously you just have to be careful as you're putting it in the tire that you don't pinch it. Yeah, I don't know what the perfect amount of inflation is for the tube as you're putting it in the tire to where it's not gonna pinch. I've changed like so many bicycle tires in my life, and it's so much easier than this because you're not dealing with a big heavy rim and you're dealing with bigger but skinnier tires. There we go. Now I gotta make sure that the valve stem is aligned. Okay, there we go, baby. There we freaking go. Oh my god. If I put If I put a hole in this thing, it's over for me. I'm never writing UCs again. Or I'm never doing maintenance myself again. Okay. Now this game again. Yeah, having a proper vise slash stand would be helpful as well. I'm trying to work with what I have. I think you just have to have insane grip strength, honestly. Which I do not have, unfortunately. Oh no. Oh my god, dude. I think I just created another pinch flat. Wow, so I don't know if I can do this. Right here. There's the new pinch flat. Again, probably repairable. But just so annoying. Well, I guess I can definitely look into a tubeless option, because that seems kind of nice right now, not having to worry about that. Okay. So, I've attempted to patch both tubes here. I hope to God this holds, because otherwise it's going to be a while before I ride this wheel again. I'm going to go with the original tube, because that was a smaller hole. I watched some videos about like people installing motorcycle tires and everything. Some of them use Windex, some of them heat up the tire to try to, I guess, expand it a little bit. But we'll see what we can do here. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, that was much faster that time. So yeah, I think the key to getting that valve in is you go from the other side and you kind of grab a bit of the tube so you can get some slack on the tube, and then you're able to twist the valve towards the opening in the rim. And that seems to work a lot better. Okay, there we go. Okay, we just have to hope that I didn't put another pinch flat or puncture the tube in some way. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh man, I still hear air releasing. Here we go again. Oh, yep, there's a new one. That's incredible, man. Incredibly unlucky. Yeah, hopefully that thing holds. Okay. It's no wonder E-Wheels charges like $150 for the tire swap, because this is insane. Okay. I just got it through. Okay. Again, would not be surprised if I just created another pinch flat. But I don't know how to do this. Okay. Please work. Okay, here we go. It's definitely pumping up now, which is great, but it's still not fully seated on this side. It's like everything but, there might be a big pop at some point. Okay, see, it's at 24 PSI right now, so the recommended PSI on here. 36 PSI max. So, let's see if I can get my phone. Right there. You can see that gap, whereas the rest of it, it's fully seated, so. But it is holding air, so that's definitely progress. Let me blow it up just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. There we go. It just popped into place, or at least it filled out the tube on, or the rim on that side. So that's good. Okay, so it's at 30 PSI right now. Holy moly, what a freaking journey that was. Wow, that is way harder than I thought. I thought it was gonna be so easy to change this tire, but it's just the tube. I think the tube kept getting holes in it, and that made it extremely difficult. But here we go. Yeah, now it looks like it's fully seated around both sides. So that is great news there. I'm gonna put the valve back on. So we'll keep it at 30 psi for now. Okay, now I gotta remember how to put this thing back together. Let's get reset. All right, so we need to get this wheel back in here. So this cable is gonna go in there. Just need to make sure the wheel is oriented correctly there. That's gonna go back in this slot. So what we're gonna do is reapply some Loctite on the motor bolt screws. We have Loctite left over from the E-Rides pedal hangers. So we're gonna apply some Loctite on these guys. And we just wanna make sure these are lined up. Oh yeah, see, it seems like there's some Loctite residue that's still in there. Let me see if I can get that with tweezers. Okay, I think I got that. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, now we can thread these back over. Okay, that's in there, so we just need to replace the cable tie, zip tie. I'll do that at the end. Actually, I can put the pedal hanger on now. I think all these bolts need to come out. Okay, so that's on there. Let's see, I guess I will put it in the middle, back to the middle position here. All right, so now we're gonna flip the wheel over. There we go. Now we need to tighten the motor bolts for the other side. A little Loctite again. Okay, I'm gonna get this reset up on the table so it'll be a little easier to get the rest of the side panels and things on. Be right back. Okay, so we got the wheel back up on the stand here, and so basically what I need to do is just attach the last battery box, reconnect the cables, and then I'll put on the side panels. And I got some double stick tape to switch the pads from the old side panels to the new side panels, so hopefully that works. So let's give it a go. Actually, the first thing we're gonna do is re-zip tie this motor cable. How about you go in this way? There we go. So we'll just cinch that down. Okay, so we got our 4 battery screws here. Oh, but we're back to 4mm screws now. And then what we'll do is we'll get the battery bumper back on here. Let's clean up these cables here. Okay, so we'll use another zip tie here. Make sure that's nice and tucked away. Okay, let's get the other side. Okay, so the last step is just to get the side panels on, so I gotta figure out how to get the pads off of these guys and onto here. I have some double stick tape, which is what eWheels recommended when I emailed them about it. So I think we can just, yeah, tear this off. You can kind of see the double stick. That's kind of what's left. So yeah, there's like double stick tape along this groove and then more double stick tape along this platform. So let's see if we can match that. Okay, probably going to be easiest to apply the tape to the pad itself rather than the side panel. So we'll do that. All right, something kind of like that. So that's going to go on the new side here. Something kind of like that. So now let's attach this side panel here. So it has the hooks or the clasps. Just want to make sure those get in there. It might be this cable is getting in the way. I don't know if I can cinch that down anymore. I don't know why it is. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. That's in there. Okay, we'll switch this one. Yeah, these just have to be really tight up against this top plate here. There we go. There we go. All right. That's gonna do it for us there. So that took a lot longer than I wanted it to, but we'll do a test ride with the new tire and see how it goes off-road. All right, see ya in just a few. All right guys, this video is already long enough, so I'll try to keep this somewhat brief. But in terms of the first impressions of the knobby tire, it feels pretty good to me. It feels really grippy, at least on the pavement. I don't notice any train tracking, turns feel good to me. So overall, it feels really great. And then here, I just wanted to try the tire out on this little dirt path. It's nothing too crazy, just a simple dirt trail to get a feel for the tire. And I hope this video was helpful just in terms of showing my struggle through this tire change process and then also replacing some of those side panels and handles and all those parts. As I tried to point out with text, if you're using the standard original pedal hangers, you shouldn't need to remove those to access the motor bolts, so hopefully that's a little less work for you for that step. But also, if you've changed your own tire, let me know if you have your own tips and techniques for changing your tire efficiently, because it was such a struggle and I would love to be able to change the tire much faster. So let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate any feedback you have. With that, I'll leave you with a nice vista point that I got to at the end of my ride up in the Oakland Hills. You can see downtown Oakland, Lake Merritt, San Francisco Bay, city of San Francisco. Really cool spot. And if you're still watching, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.